Wow, check out these behemoths. I wonder what the guys who were building the Empire State Building back in the day would have said about that. A lot of glass. Speaking of Empire State Building. All right, guys, I made my way across town to get to this thing, the highline. This, ladies and gentlemen, is an elevated platform for the trains that used to run here in the city, and they had since stopped a long time ago, and these tracks above me were laying fallow for quite some time, and they weren't exactly sure what to do with them. So they decided to build a park out of it. That's right, a park out of an elevated train platform. So without further ado, let's climb aboard, shall we? So this is the very beginning of it, or end, I guess, depending on where you start. But this is 30th Street and Gansevoort. And you will get some impressive views on this. There's a lot of history too in this area. Are you guys tired of me saying there's a lot of history yet? Well, this is no exception, because the High Line runs through what's known as the Meatpacking District. We'll talk about that as we progress. But some of the buildings that have gone up alongside the High Line are equally as impressive as anything you'll see in the city. They'll have a lot of little bench areas and glass to look through. Give you different vantage points and views from up here. I wasn't joking when I told you it's a park, because you're going to see some foliage here. Have little signs telling you to protect the plants, stay on the path. Why anyone would want to walk it there, though, is beyond me. So here you go, guys. You can see the tracks, the original train tracks that were here the whole time. And, you know, because of the way they built this park around it, it could almost appear like they were put here on purpose to give it that kind of a motif. But no, these things were here. These are the original tracks that the trains that used to run above ground in New York used to run on. Wow, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Those stairs going around. That's called the Vessel. I have never been on it. This High Line was completed, I think, in 2009. And there's another area called Hudson Yards that has shopping and, you know, lookout points, and I think the edge where there's a tower that you can go up and check it out. I think you need tickets to go up to the edge in this vessel, and it might be free. I don't know if they charge for it, but you definitely have to have tickets for it. I know that. You can see they decked it out for Christmas. They got these little Leland cypresses here to look like Christmas trees. Wow, look at that view. Look at this thing, guys. It looks like something out of War of the Worlds. I mean, it's just unbelievable. The shine, it looks like it's made out of copper. I don't know what it's made out of, but it certainly has that copper look to it. I don't think it would be copper, though, because the Statue of Liberty is made out of copper. When air, especially salt air and water, gets to copper, you guys know what happens. Just like an old penny, turns green. A cool look, and it looks great for the Statue of Liberty, but I don't think they want that happening here, so I don't think that's copper. This is so interesting. It reminds me of the World Showcase at Epcot. Do you need tickets? No tickets? Oh. Anyway, guys, we're here, so let's get up there and check it out. And now you can see that it's definitely, obviously not copper.
Please do not block the entrance, friends. We have a lot of traffic. In and out.
Oh, goodness me. So there's an elevator here that takes you up to the other floors. And I guess that's what everybody's waiting for, because I don't think you can walk up to it. Are you guys dizzy yet? I'm starting to feel it.
Guys, exit straight ahead, sir. Exit straight ahead.
So I guess that elevator is the only way to get up there, and I'm not waiting around for it. We don't have time for that. I just wanted to come in here and show this pavilion to you guys, and Hudson Yards, the actual train yards. That's what this was. This was where they, repair trains, just keep trains that aren't in use. And it's really smart because they took something that is, basically an eyesore and made something incredible with this land. I'll tell you one thing about New York City. They really make the best possible use with all the real estate they have here. They're very smart about it, as they have to be. There you go. There's the trains sitting in the yard. Here's another view of the vessel from this vantage point.
I feel like it'd be really fun to play Manhunt.
Very cool. I heard about that. That thing's called The Shed. We're able to have different venues in there, music, special events, whatnot. But you see that outer shell? It's basically a protective casing that they can move back, and it's on wheels. I want to go look at that. And so they can make it open air if they want to, or they can close it to protect people from the elements. What a lovely little area to sit under the lit trees and enjoy a pleasant afternoon or evening. The buildings are just so streamlined now. They look like F-16s. Yeah, there you go, the shed. And so, you see, those giant round objects are wheels. Looks like they got food trucks here too. Here you go, guys. Look, you can tell with this guy standing right by it, the size of these wheels. Yeah, pretty solid. The shed, ladies and gentlemen. That's an interesting name for this concept.
In the summer and the spring.
So guys, it actually kind of jackknives and continues over there, but I believe this section here will take you to the Hudson, probably with a nice view. So it's not that far, so I'm gonna do it. People walking right across the tracks here. You can see how smartly they did this. Actually poured cement in between the slats.
Gather.
At least you don't have to worry about the train coming. Speaking of trains, you know, if you're wondering, these were not passenger trains back in the day, early 1900s, 30s, I guess. They were freight trains. They were freight trains that brought a lot of the products that were necessary for the meatpacking industry. And one of the companies that was big here was Nabisco. They had, I think, their headquarters here. So yeah, this is where it ends.
I don't know. I didn't know.
But you can see the Hudson River, guys. This is our first look at it, I believe, since I got here. Everything else was on the other side, the East River. Excuse me. This will make a nice thumbnail too, right here. Closer shot of the train yards and the skyscrapers going up in the background. One famous ship was supposed to end up over there. It was on the White Star Line. You guys may know it better as the Titanic. That was the end point. That was where it was supposed to disembark the passengers. And of course, we all know what happened. All right, so the highline continues over here. You can see right here, this new condo. Now, so these are apartment rentals, not a condo. 1 to 3 bedroom apartments for rent. 1 Hudson Yards. So a quick word about all this plant life you're seeing here and the whole way this came together, you know, almost by chance, that this stuff was growing here, a lot of it. A lot of this foliage is, you know, native to this spot, and all of this overgrowth started to accumulate on the tracks over the years. And rather than clean it up and get rid of it, the idea was to incorporate it into the park as part of the look of it and appeal. And I'll tell you what, it's I think it complements it very well.
Let's keep walking.
You can see how crowded it is here today. The weather's been great. It's lovely. It's very mild for this time of year in New York. You know, a lot of people aren't even wearing jackets or wearing sweatshirts or just long sleeve shirts. Seem to be doing fine. This is a nice little. Look how cool that is. They got a barbecue grill out there. Imagine hanging out here and barbecuing up burgers, steaks, whatever, and people are walking right past you, watching you as you're having a cookout. It's pretty amazing. Look at this thing.
Wait, are we doing Korea down Saturday or tomorrow?
Meet George Jetson. Doesn't it have that futuristic look about it? It's something that I'm still getting used to, is seeing these classic old buildings that were here from the meatpacking glory days, juxtaposed by these structures that look like they're out of the space age. It's kind of an incredible paradox. It's really interesting to see all the natural growth that started here. I mean, of course, they added to it, maybe embellished it a bit, but, you know, they keep that sort of unkempt, natural look about it to create that mood they were looking for. And it's funny because it reminds me very much of the movie with Will Smith, I Am Legend, when he was in the city. And I don't know if you've ever seen the movie, but terrible disease basically wipes out everyone, and like all civilization stops except for him, you know, and his dog. and the zombies. Anyway, it's a nice view. There's a couple of scenes of him driving through the city, and they show the growth because there's nobody there to take care of it. And it was the only one basically left alive. So you see all the growth that took over the city, and it looks very much like this. This is nicer though. And you can see they left a lot of the original buildings here still standing right next to this microwave oven. Oh my God, look at this thing. I gotta tell you, it's really interesting to see that the differentiation of architecture from over the years. Back then, a lot of brick, stone, you know, and now real clean corners and angles, and materials are lighter and flashier, you know, a lot of metals and glass. So stark difference.
The vortex.
So when you think about elevated platforms for trains in Manhattan, you know, anywhere in New York City, it's like you gotta take a second and step back and think about that, because you always think of New York with the subways, right? But again, this was for freight trains that used to come through here. So then you might say to yourself, well, why did they ever stop it? I mean, I understand progress and, you know, different methods of transport. And that's exactly why. That's exactly what happened, because there's another nice view here.
Why? It's more south.
That's 10th Avenue, by the way. With the advent of box refrigeration, it enabled the trucking industry to take over. And by the way, it was no easy feat back in the day when they had, you know, the trains that would not just be elevated, because they also had trains that were coming through the city, right down the street. And so they really had a hard time of keeping the trains and the cars, the stagecoaches and people and all the other things, carts, you know, push carts, a lot of push carts back in the early days. That's how a lot of business was run, because a lot of people didn't have the money for a storefront. So, you know, they had these carts that were out in the middle of the street selling all kinds of stuff. And here come these trains coming through. And because of that, a lot of people got hurt. People got injured. People got killed from the trains coming through. So one of the things they did to try to prevent that was they actually hired cowboys on horses to come when the trains were coming. They would get in front of the train and warn people and get people out of the way. And you know, that's something they should make a movie about. It's just, it boggles the mind to think that that's how the city was run back in the day. But, you know, it's a long time ago. So eventually they got rid of that, and the train warning cowboys were no more. So that's the whole reason that they elevated the trains to begin with, was because there was just too much mayhem going on. You know, they were like, nah, we gotta do something about this. We can't just have the trains coming through the city like this. It's causing too many problems. And so they built this. And then, funny enough, you fast forward, they invent refrigeration for vehicles, for trucks, and the freight train became obsolete. Wow, it's getting crowded up here. I feel like I'm back in the parade. I love these condos here. Check these things out. These must go for a pretty penny. I heard it's not cheap here. Not that anything's cheap. There's nothing cheap in Manhattan, but nonetheless, these are pricier. Love those barrel-style windows. Very cool. Look, you can see. This one's occupied. You can see the guy watching TV. He's in a fishbowl. People stopping and looking at him watching TV. Ah, big. Get some drapes. Get some drapes.
For a little bit.
Excuse me. Once again, I got to chime in about my restroom complaint because I'm sure they have them here somewhere. Back at Hudson Yard's entrance, there was a sign that said that the restrooms were out of service. Apologize for the inconvenience. They're working as quickly as possible to get them fixed. But that was way back there. I don't see hide nor hair of any kind of restroom facility here. Oh, this is pretty cool. We got to check this out, guys. These benches here, looking out on, I think that's 10th Avenue. Let's check. Check this out. Very cool spot, guys, where you could just sit here. You could have a little picnic, you know, bring a lunch, coffee, what have you. That's 10th Avenue and 17th Street. Never thought I'd ever get pleasure out of sitting down and looking straight out at a New York City busy street.
Sono stretti loro, lo sono grossa io,
Sounds like a good idea. I wonder if Ample Hills. They have such good.
By the way, finally, guys, a restroom. Thank you, New York. I knew you'd come through in the clutch. I mean, I'd still like to see more of them, but at least they have them. Check this out. Almost like icicles hanging from the ceiling. Very cool. The way the light plays upon them too, it's really nice. So yeah, guys, Meatpacking District, they call it that because this is where they processed and packed meat and a lot of other products. That's why they needed the freight trains, but they still call it that. You know, New York is kind of famous for that. Once they give something a name, it sticks. Until they come up with a new acronym for it. See that metal arch right there? I don't know if you could see it in the glaring sun, but that metal arch, that belongs to Cunard Cruise Lines. It's very peaceful up here. It's beautiful. I hear more traffic in Miami. I'll tell you what, it's Thanksgiving week. So I think everybody had the same idea. Let's go to the highline. It's pretty busy. And there you go. There's a better look at the Cunard Line arch. This is a hotel that the High Line runs right through. Pretty sure this is called the Standard Hotel. And if I'm not mistaken, there's a rooftop bar in that hotel. How the hell do you get to it though? I see stairs over there. See the sun starting to set over the Hudson. So this is the way down. Let's go see if we can't get into that rooftop bar. Definitely not far, it's right there, but it's not like there's an entrance directly from the High Line into the hotel. You have to get down, walk down the stairs, and then walk over about a block. All right, I gotta go incognito, a little more discreet, so I'm gonna dismantle the gimbal and take the phone off and shoot au natural. What do we got going on here? Oh, check this out. Bumper car rides for the kiddies. This is like that synthetic ice. It works pretty good. Back when Dylan used to play hockey in Charlotte, I bought him a couple of sheets of this synthetic ice, and he used to ice skate on it in the driveway, and it worked great. purple and orange Christmas trees. It's very colorful out here, I'll say that. Anyway, let's see if we can get into that hotel. I'm not even gonna ask. I'm just gonna see if I can find it. Look at this. It's like caves back in here. Oh my god. They call it the standard. They should call it the cave, the caverns. I don't even know, guys. I'm just gonna hit 18. If it lets me. Oh, you need the key thing? Okay. They do that now. I gotta ask. Okay, out the revolving door. So, she was actually very nice. She told me that I could go up, but it doesn't open until 10 o'clock. So obviously it's nowhere near that. I asked her if there was another rooftop bar anywhere around here, and she said, yeah, the Gavin's Ford Hotel up 9th Avenue. So which one is that? I'll find it. Change of plans, guys. Change of plans. Instead of looking for that rooftop bar, it's going to be dark soon. There's one more thing I wanted to show you guys. There's an actual food market there. It's more than food. It's called the Chelsea Market. So let's go see if we can find that. I'll tell you right now, there's no big glaring signs, Chelsea Market here with a giant arrow. That's the sign right there. I walked right past it, never would have known. Found it, let's go. It's gotta be over here. Chelsea Market this way, you guys?
Yeah,
Did you pass it? Okay, thank you. I figured as much, but just making sure. I don't want to do any more walking that I don't have to. My feet are killing me. There you go. Open 7 days. Very cool. Let's check it out. I'm really excited to see this market because I've heard a lot about it, and apparently it's like pretty huge. The building is owned by none other than Google and actually has an office for YouTube right here in Chelsea Market. I think it's on the 5th floor. Definitely has an old world appeal to it. Even the flooring. I don't know, but this flooring may be the original flooring from what was here before. Now that I remember, this building was the headquarters for the National Biscuit Company that you guys may know better as Nabisco. The inventor of the Oreo, which was actually invented right here in this building. I'll tell you what, I'm not in the mood for Oreos, but the food sure smells good in here. They got the heat cranking too. It's hot in here. Takumi Taka. Tacos and Japanese food combined? I don't know. Interesting concept. Oh wow, turn the heat off. Is it supposed to be doing that? Or did we spring a leak? It's back in here. Elevators. It's like old freight elevators. Oh, there you go. The Oreo. They actually called it the Oreo sandwich. It is a sandwich. What's going on in here? It's like a fast food joint. This place is happening. This is a bevy of activity here. Let's see. Kebabs. Oh, so it's Indian food. Very cool. Continuing our journey through the Chelsea market. Right here in Chelsea. New York City. It's crowded in here. Shouldn't you all be home eating turkey? Pizza smells pretty good. I ain't standing on that line. Fred Flintstone, your bench is ready. Everything's on this floor. Okay, thank you. Okay, that's it, guys. I got confirmation. Everything is here, what we saw, and pretty cool place. Look at this. Old pictures. New York back in the day. Well, guys, our work here is done. On to the next place. Onward and upward.